How's it going, everybody? It's Warren. I hope everybody had and is still having a good holiday season. Today we have some news about the villain that everybody wants to enter the MCU, Victor Von Doom, aka Doctor Doom. It's been reported and rumored for some time now that Doctor Doom is going to be one of the next big bad villains of the MCU. And recently we've been getting more specific reports about just what he's going to be doing when he enters the MCU. And now we have even more evidence that says Victor Von Doom is going to be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe very soon. Before we jump into it, don't forget to subscribe with notifications turned on, like the video, and leave a comment so you can enter my giveaway for a chance to win an Xbox One or a PS4. I'm choosing a winner at 550,000 subscribers. Now, all of these reports that we've gotten about Doctor Doom entering the MCU have all come from pretty credible people. One of the first ones came from Mikey Sutton, who simply stated that Doctor Doom is going to be one of the main villains of the future phases of the MCU. Then MCU Cosmic came out with a report stating that Doctor Doom will be entering the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but it could be through a Disney Plus show. Now, all of the Disney Plus Marvel shows are in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so this still makes sense, and Kevin Feige has already mentioned that just because a character gets his own Disney Plus show doesn't mean he won't end up in the movies. But then recent reports come from Charles Murphy. Charles has recently stated that Doctor Doom is going to be the villain of Black Panther 2, and that Doctor Doom is going to be seeking out vibranium in Wakanda. And recently it's been reported that Doctor Doom could be the mysterious benefactor that was talked about in Ant-Man and the Wasp, and that he could end up in the next Ant-Man movie as well. So a lot of talk and a lot of hype around Doctor Doom lately, and today we have even more evidence that suggests he may be introduced as early on as the WandaVision series in Phase 4. Because today we have another report from Charles Murphy and seemingly some evidence that says that Doctor Doom's mother, Cynthia Von Doom, could appear in the WandaVision Disney Plus show. It's looking like the WandaVision series is really going to have just about everything in it, and it's also looking like it's going to be about the Scarlet Witch learning how to actually use magic. And it's looking like one of the characters that could tie into the Scarlet Witch learning magic is Victor Von Doom's mother, Cynthia Von Doom herself. And it looks like they're going to be bringing Cynthia Von Doom and Doctor Strange's birthplace into the WandaVision series. Last night, it was reported by Charles Murphy that an actress confirmed that she is going to be in the WandaVision series. She then tweeted out, "Doomstat in Helen." So, what exactly does this mean? Well, for those big Doctor Doom fans out there, and for those comic book fans out there as well, Doomstat is the capital city of Latveria. And Latveria is the birthplace of Victor Von Doom and is where his mother is from. Now, the small quaint town of Helen, Georgia is said to double for Doomstat, meaning that if Doctor Doom and Doomstat are going to be in the WandaVision series, they're going to use Helen, Georgia to film Doomstat because it looks very similar to what they want. Now, according to Kevin Feige, the president of Marvel Studios, the WandaVision series is set to be the craziest thing that Marvel Studios has ever done. And it's certainly shaping out that way, but why bring Victor Von Doom into the WandaVision series? Well, again, like I stated, it's because of his mother, Cynthia Von Doom. Cynthia Von Doom is actually a very powerful Romani sorceress with quite an interesting backstory, and we know thanks to some leaked photos for the WandaVision series that it's going to explore Agatha Harkness and her background and the Salem witch trials. So while they're going to explore the sorceress Agatha Harkness, it seems like they're going to explore the sorceress Cynthia Von Doom as well. And with that would come Doctor Doom's origin story. Now, the story of Cynthia Von Doom and her son Victor Von Doom is actually kind of sad. Cynthia Von Doom first appeared in Astonishing Tales number 8 when a group of Romani sorceresses that were living in Latveria came together and formed the Zephyro. Cynthia was trained in sorcery by a Latverian mystic and would later go on to marry Werner Von Doom. And this is where the story gets really interesting and kind of crazy. Eventually, Cynthia would go on to get imprisoned in a tower by a character called the Baron. And the prison was overrun by vampires. Decades into the future, her future son, Doctor Doom, learned about his mother's history. Doctor Doom then sent Blade back in time to fight off all the vampires and free his mother. Blade goes back in time and teams up with Lucas Cross, and the two of them work together to fight off all of the vampires, and afterwards Cynthia escapes. So her future son, Doctor Doom, in the future saves her. At this point in time, she hadn't had him yet. So the future Doctor Doom saved his mother, and of course, eventually Cynthia goes on to have Victor Von Doom. Cynthia would go on to lead the Sapphira for some time, and then one day she summons Mephisto. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with Mephisto, he's one of the strongest Marvel villains ever, and he's basically the devil. He's a demon. He was created by the Supreme Being, whose suicide resulted in the creation of the Marvel Universe as well as the Infinity Gems. So Cynthia summons Mephisto. She makes a deal with him in exchange for the power to give her people a deserving homeland. She made a deal with Mephisto unaware of what was actually going to happen, and she stormed the Baron's tower and told his guards that he had until sunrise to leave. The guards mocked her, and she ended up firing some energy bolts at some of them, killing them. She realized that she had no control over the power that Mephisto gave her, and just as one of the guards was about to die, they stabbed her and severely wounded her. So she fled into the woods, and her husband Werner eventually found her, where she told him everything that happened, including her deal with Mephisto. Sadly, she went on to die, and at her funeral the other gypsies told Werner to take Victor, his son, and flee before the Baron found out. So Werner led the Sapphira and told them to leave at dawn. Cynthia had a trunk of arcade that was filled with potions and secrets of magic, and Werner tried to get rid of it by dumping it into the river, but it reappeared in his wagon 3 days later. Due to Cynthia dying unconfessed, Cynthia was cursed to an eternity of damnation by Mephisto. Eventually, a young Dr. Doom would discover his mother's trunk and discover all of the magical artifacts inside of it. This, of course, sparked his interest and made him want to learn more. Victor Von Doom would eventually go on to create what is called a necrophone and used it to contact his mother. He saw that she was being tortured by Mephisto. Over the years, Victor Von Doom studied and learned magic until he eventually summoned Mephisto and challenged him to a duel for his mother's soul. Every midsummer evening, Dr. Doom would cast a spell that summoned demons to fight, and each time he fought them, he lost. Dr. Doom tried everything that he could to defeat Mephisto's demons to try and get his mother back. He went on to partner with Morgan Le Fay to gain magical abilities, and he even went on to kidnap Franklin Richards and offer him to Mephisto in exchange for his mother's soul. And for those of you who do not know, Franklin Richards is the son of Mr. Fantastic and the Invisible Woman of the Fantastic Four and is one of the strongest mutants ever. Things with the deal ended up going wrong, and Mephisto ended up getting his hands on Franklin Richards, although Franklin Richards was too strong, so Mephisto banished him back to Earth. Dr. Doom would go on to enter a Vishanti contest in which he placed second, and his prize was that he was given a boon with Doctor Strange. He made a request with Doctor Strange, asking him to take him to hell so he could confront Mephisto. Once he got there, however, he betrayed Doctor Strange, offering his soul in exchange for his mother's. Mephisto restored Cynthia's body when he got his hands on Doctor Strange, but as soon as she found out what Dr. Doom did in order to get her soul back, she turned to stone. Mephisto would get his hands on the souls of Dr. Doom, Doctor Strange, and Dr. Doom's mother, Cynthia. But Dr. Doom brought a device with him that shattered Mephisto's crystal, releasing the three of them. The three of them then attacked Mephisto, but their powers were nothing compared to his. Mephisto mocks them, but Cynthia decides that she doesn't want to leave hell based on the pact that Dr. Doom made, sacrificing Doctor Strange's soul. Cynthia ends up going through the redemption process enough to purify her soul, and Mephisto cannot tolerate it. So he allows her to ascend to a higher plane to where she would no longer be tortured. Mephisto also allows Doctor Strange and Dr. Doom to return to Earth. In this higher plane, Cynthia has a cauldron to where she can watch what happens with Dr. Doom, her son, on Earth. So as you can see, it's kind of a crazy story, and Dr. Doom really does everything that he can to try and get his mother back. But this all ties into the WandaVision series and the setup for the future of the MCU very well. Again, we know from the leaked photos that we have from the WandaVision series that they're going to explore Agatha Harkness, plus they're going to explore other witches and the Salem witch trials. So it really is a very nice segue to explore Cynthia Von Doom. And then there's the time travel and Blade aspect as well. After Avengers Endgame, time travel is now a part of the MCU. And they're most likely going to explore this in future films in the MCU. And they can even do basically a reiteration of what happens in the comics in the series. A future Victor Von Doom could send Blade, who we know is going to be entering the MCU pretty soon, to rescue his mother. So not only could the WandaVision series give us the origin story for Victor Von Doom, but it could also introduce Blade as well. And it makes a lot of sense that they would try and introduce Dr. Doom as early on in Phase 4 as possible, because one thing that Marvel has kind of had a problem with in the MCU is their villains. They did a great job with Thanos, and that's because they built him up over 10 years. However, we didn't get too much of a backstory about Thanos. They gave us a little bit of a backstory in Avengers Infinity War, but having us go through what the villain is going through all throughout the years and watching him become this big bad villain is something that the fans have wanted for a very long time. And when you have such a huge villain like Doctor Doom, who goes on to eventually become God Emperor Doom in Avengers Secret Wars Battle World, you want to see him build up. We want to go on the journey with him. So this just makes a ton of sense. Watching the origin of Doctor Doom, seeing him in Black Panther 2, seeing him in Ant-Man 3, and other films as he's built up to become this huge villain. I think this is the right way to go, but let me know what you all think. Do you like the idea of the WandaVision series exploring the origin of Doctor Doom and his mother? And would you like to see Doctor Doom throughout multiple MCU films until he eventually goes on to become the big bad? Leave your thoughts down below. Also, don't forget to like the video and subscribe with notifications turned on so you can enter my giveaway for a chance to win an Xbox One or a PS4. I'm picking a winner at 550,000 subscribers. Also, don't forget, only 5 days left in the Infinity Gauntlet giveaway, so be sure to click the link in the description down below to enter. As always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.